that last name?
I officially changed it back.
Is your new nickname Chuck?
No, still Foxy.
Do you know who it was?
No, I was looking for the culprit, but a lot of quiet mouths back there.
I'm sure.
I'm sure it's Lenny. Has to be.
No. If there's one guy I know, it wasn't.
He
It
would
was
never
Lindy.
do something like that.
No, it was not Lindy.
I don't know if any of them could sew, though. It probably had to be a group effort.
Yeah.
Some pretty good guys back there with their hands. So who knows?
So has your life changed at all since winning? I mean, have you gotten a lot more attention in the off season this year?
Maybe a few more interviews, but no, I think same kind of off season. I was able to just get back to working out, and I'm a pretty simple guy with the things I do. So no, it was a pretty normal off season, but yeah, it was obviously cool to have that win the Norris and everything.
Have you been able to fully wrap your head around it, winning your second year? Does that kind of blow your mind?
Yeah, definitely. There was definitely moments I just started thinking about just how crazy it is that some of the names, and especially when I got to actually see it and see the names and my name with it. Yeah, it's special. I mean, I wouldn't say every day it's necessarily I'm thinking about it, but there are definitely moments where you take a step back and think how crazy it is.
Do you do anything fun with the trophy?
Nothing too fun. I have my family, a bunch of the guys there with it, so those are the people I'd want to celebrate it with. So it was obviously a nice little surprise to see it there.
And the big question is, what do you do for an encore?
Hopefully the same thing. I think I try and play my game, game in and game out. I don't try and be someone I'm not. So I think just doing that and sticking to what I'm good at, and I think that's when I'm successful.
Adam, what do you think of the mood around here? It seems to be so upbeat and so lively and so optimistic about what this team is capable of. Just from hearing it from the guys yesterday. So, now you're a couple days in here. What does it feel like around here for you?
Yeah, it's definitely been upbeat. Obviously a lot of great guys and personalities in that locker room, and I think it's just a hungry group. Obviously, we haven't had the most successful, at least when I've been here, 2 years. So, I think you bring in guys with experience, guys who have won, and I think that kind of lifts the whole group, and we're here to accomplish something, and I think it's definitely a hungry locker room.
When you first got here as a rookie, there was a lot of talk about defense. I know we talked about that with you several times. You've kind of proven that. You've done PK. But I want to ask about your skating. Is that something that you feel like you put a lot of effort into, adjusting to the speed of the league and working on your skating? Yeah,
definitely. I think skating's something I've been trying to work on since I was 15, 16. I think that's one thing you could always improve on. I saw somewhere McDavid's still working on his skating, so if he can, I definitely can. But yeah, I think I've always had pretty good edges, but straightaway speed and just quickness is something that I'm definitely always trying to improve on.
Adam, what kind of message is it send when a kid from Long Island wins that type of award? What does it say to the youth, or what kind of role does that play for them?
Yeah, I think it's huge. I think Long Island wasn't necessarily thought of as a hockey hotbed, but you see a lot more guys, myself and Charlie McAvoy and Sonny Milano and guys like that, and I think it just lets kids know that you can come from Long Island and make it, and obviously I'm fortunate to be for the Rangers and in New York, so maybe more of a face to look at, but yeah, I think it's awesome, and I think Long Island hockey is definitely on the rise.
Have you been notified by USA Hockey that you're on their list for the Olympics?
Yeah, there's been some long list stuff, so that was obviously cool to get that, and definitely something that hopefully could look forward to.
As you were growing up, is playing in the Olympics one of your one of your career goals? Was it?
I think definitely. I think growing up, it's not necessarily something you think is the most realistic thing. Playing in the NHL is something that I obviously wanted to do also, but you don't necessarily know. Like I said, Long Island wasn't necessarily the hockey hotbed, and you don't know necessarily how good you are in that little bubble. But yeah, I think representing your country is something I've always wanted to do. I was fortunate enough to play for the U.S. NCDP team and then the World Juniors twice. So obviously the Olympics is the biggest stage of that, and I think any player wants to represent their country.
What impact do you think having the Olympics that carrot, come February, will that have on you, your game, and really maybe just around the league this season to know that that's back? It's been 8 years.
Yeah, I think you ask any player, I think they want NHL players to go. I think it's great for the game, and I think everyone wants to compete against the best. I think everyone wants to watch the best compete against each other. So, I think it's great for hockey as a whole if NHL players are able to go and compete for a gold medal there.
What are your initial observations of Noah Falcois?
Yeah, he looks good. I haven't, been able to see too much of him, but he's definitely a smart player with a lot of skill, and like myself, a smaller guy. So I'm sure, people question things about him, like any small player. But he seems like a great kid and someone who's willing to work hard. So yeah, but you can definitely see the skill and smarts that he has.
On that note, where do you feel like you guys are as a D Corps? Because there's prospects like that who are coming. A lot of them are here right now. But then if you look at, you and Brian have been together for a few years now. Trub has been here for a few years. Keandre broke in last year, made an impact. So do you feel like there's more continuity, like you guys are more kind of well-formed at this point?
Yeah, I think a little bit. I think, obviously chemistry is a big thing, and, I was lucky enough to kind of have that with Ryan right away, and, obviously Key got better, and as the year progressed, and he's got a lot of skill, and, Trubs is a guy that, he's been in the league a while, and the way he plays kind of, lifts the whole D up a little bit, and so yeah, I think once you get that familiarity and guys who are a lot more comfortable with each other, it helps the whole group.
I don't know if you've had much interaction with the coach, but what are your first impressions of him?
Yeah, like you said, not too many interactions. Obviously we had a practice the other day, but he definitely a guy who wants hard work, and you can tell that. But at the same time, he's going to let guys play their game and do what they have to do. And no one that I know has really said a bad word about him. And so definitely looking forward to getting to know him a little more and seeing how we do.
Adam, we talked about, yesterday we talked to Mika and to Kreitz about captain. And regardless of captain, the issue of leadership has come up. As a guy entering his third year, how do you feel like a leader on this team? And how do you, go about being a leader, at such a young age?
Yeah, I think I definitely want to be a leader on this team. I think every guy wants to lead in some way. I think it's I've heard other guys say it, but it really is just about being who you are. I think everyone can sense when someone's faking it a little bit or trying to be someone they're not. So I think just for me, just doing what I do. I'm not really a rah hype man, but just coming in day day out, trying to bring a good energy and maybe lead on the ice a little more than vocally, but like you said, there's a lot of leaders in that locker room, and a lot of guys that players look up to. So yeah, it's not just one guy. There's a lot of guys in there who I'm sure want to be leaders.
The additions that you guys made in the offseason, the types of players that you guys brought in, what they do well, do you think that changes the reputation of the Rangers around the league, and is that important?
I don't know about reputation. I think having those players is essential to any team. I think we obviously want to be a hard team to play against. Maybe that's not always fighting 5 times a game, but being hard on guys and being a hard team to play against in that sense. But yeah, like you said, the additions we brought in, I think just help everyone understand their role a little more. I think that's when a team's at their best, when guys know what they have to do, shift in and shift out, and like I said earlier, just being true to themselves in terms of players on the ice and how they play. So yeah, obviously some great additions and guys who have experience, and will help the whole group.